Warning: the following video has not been approved by the Comic Code Authority and is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Drewski, the Comic-Assassin, coming back at you. Gonna do something a little different today. I want to do a comic book review. There was two #1 books that came out Wednesday that I thought were pretty interesting. One, most of y'all probably have either checked out or at least bought. The other one, maybe not as much. So, both interesting. The first one was The Ride, Burning Desires. Apparently there was a run of The Ride that came out about 15 years ago. I'm not familiar with that book, so I couldn't tell you if there's any real link in the storyline between the two. Maybe y'all can let me know in the comments down below. It was an interesting book. The cover art was beautiful, Adam Hughes. But it was the story itself was kind of confusing. It's very fetishy. So basically, the first storyline is about this bouncer who was an ex-cop, and apparently something happened. She did some time in jail, and now she works as a bouncer at this dance club, which is basically a strip club. There's dudes walking around in drag and spandex, and very fetishy. There's a kid in the strip club, which is really weird. I don't understand why they had to include that, but they did. Basically, she gets into a fight. Right? She gets into a fight with this guy, and for some reason she's arrested for it, which makes no sense. And then, they're pretty much busting her chops because of what she did, I guess, to get arrested. And then she walks out, and there's chicks like, "Oh, you were friends with my dad, and as a token of my appreciation, I'm going to give you a car." So, interesting. And then there was a second storyline called Sparkles, which I guess this is what relates to the cover. Or these shady cops are knocking on this woman's door to talk to the sister of this chick. She tells them to hit the road. They tase her, and then she wakes up in pretty much this fetish room. All right. And I guess they're about to go let her have it, and she busts out as this raging unicorn, and she lets them have it. It was interesting enough to kind of keep me in and possibly get issue #2. But both stories at this point, without having more knowledge, are kind of confusing. What links the two stories together is not there yet. You don't know what's going on there, so I'd give it a B-. It was decent artwork, but it was really fetishy, which isn't necessarily my forte when it comes to comics. But it leaves you kind of hanging and wanting some more explanation. So I'll give it a chance for issue #2. The second book, which most y'all probably did pick up, was SURFER Black. This is Donny Cates' new series. It's a mini-series, and Tradd Moore does the artwork. I kind of wish the book would have been able to stand on its own two legs, but you would have to have some understanding of what happens in Cates' run of Guardians of the Galaxy, as well as Venom, to kind of understand what's going on in this book. So I appreciate there is some cohesiveness with Cates' titles, so he's kind of touched on a lot of the stuff that he's working. You can tell he's kind of working up on something big, but at the same time, you kind of sometimes wish that it would stand on its own 2 feet. So basically, the whole thing is Silver Surfer, along with many other heroes, are pretty much plummeted into this black hole. And the whole time, like, the Silver Surfer is having these, pretty much he's deep in thought. He's trying not to be destroyed, both physically and mentally, by being in this black hole. And there's this other force that is pretty much just that's killing stuff out there in this black hole, and he finds it. It ends up being this planet, or this, or whatever you want to call it. And then there's these beings there, and then all of a sudden, so here's the beings. So apparently, as soon as he gets there, they're attacking him, and he starts drowning in the darkness, and then he creates light. And when he creates light, it burns his hand, so it's kind of like there's a price to pay. And then there was a little surprise Kate twist at the end. I really like the story. I think Cates did a good job. But what I did not like was the art. I thought the artwork was shit. I'm sorry, y'all. I know some people like the art. The art to me seems like that one issue of Silver Surfer when he's like stuck in that like acid trip world thing. And maybe that's what they were shooting for. I mean, I think the paneling is good, but I just like, what's up with all the black stuff around Silver Surfer's eyes? I don't get that. This one panel right here, to me, that's just ridiculous. I mean, who wants to see Silver Surfer's taint? All right, I don't. So that was a crappy perspective. Like it just doesn't feel right. So yeah. So the artwork did not do it for me. I thought these beings are silly looking, but the one finale was we have Null. So Null is in there. So obviously this plays into what I said before about Venom's run. It'll be interesting to see. But I mean, just look at Null. They made Null look like a chick. All right, it doesn't look right. It's I don't know. The Null's hair makes him look like a Medusa-like being. Like I don't know. The artwork killed it for me. That's why I'm giving this book a B-. The story was good, but I don't know. It not being able to stand on its own 2 feet. But it's a mini-series. I'll still check them out. It wasn't terrible, but it could have been so much better. And I think the artwork, like I said, just really killed it for me. But anyway, those are my thoughts. I know I've seen some other reviews, especially on Silver Surfer Black, where people really loved it. And like I said, I love the storyline, but art just didn't. There's nothing exciting there for me. But anyway, and also there was that nice. It does have this, so I know there's been talk about this as being one of Stan's most important soapboxes that he's done. Talks about bigotry and everything else. And then there was a nice little write-up by Donnie in the back there, talking about when he was writing the story, and so it was interesting. So anyway, go check him out. They're both worth the pickups, and we'll see you next time. Happy hunting.